And so it all came down to this. Some of the best in the business coming to Poland for one last shot at securing a spot at the World Cup finals. Wroclaw has played a big part in European history, becoming the capital of a region known as Silesia. For 1 week, though, it became the capital of the World Cup, hosting the battle for those few final spots in Lausanne. Buckle your seatbelts, it could get a little rocky. When the last arrow flies, we'll know who's crossing the bridge to Switzerland come September. Mexico's women's team seemed poised to have a great week in Poland. These three amigas came out of qualifying ranked third at stage 4, but they lost in the quarterfinals against Italy. And that wasn't exactly the plan for a trio looking to become one of the best teams in the world. As a team, our routine training plan is to shoot one after the other. We are complementary teammates. We tried to change our shooting order, and then we decided who would shoot first, second, and third.
Katia always shoots first because she is quick, and I shoot second because I don't like to close the match. And Linda almost all the time is the one who closes the shooting. She takes a little bit more of time, but we are almost sure that she will shoot almost all the times.
We use a different release, and I think my technique is more like pushing and pulling, and Brenda doesn't do that. She aims really, really well, and I think Katia is a little bit like me, but she shoots really, really fast, and that works for her. Yeah, today it wasn't a very good day for us. We were shooting good in practice, but then the wind started to we felt it like a little bit stronger.
The wind was really strong. Sometimes there was no wind, but sometimes it was very windy.
We tried to get better, and at the end we shot better, but it wasn't enough. We're okay, but I think we need to practice a little bit more today.
The Russian women beat the United States on Konyaaltı Beach at stage 3 in Antalya, snapping the Americans' win streak after U.S. wins in Shanghai and Medellin. So Albina Loginova, Svetlana Cherkashnieva, and Natalia Avdieva had to know their compound counterparts would be looking for some payback in Poland. Sometimes the bear gets you, and other times you get the bear. Christy Collin, Crystal Galvin, and Erica Jones hunting to regain that gold medal form they'd lost in Turkey. We pick up this gold medal grudge match after 3 ends, the USA on top by 3 after outscoring the Russians in the second and third ends. With temperatures rising, the Federation starts to raise the level of its game. Avdieva nails a 9. And Cherkashnieva catches the line for 10 more points. Loginova locks in on the target and makes it 2 big shots back-to-back. Russia's back in business. Crystal Galvin goes for gold and gets some, leaving her arrow just outside the 10 ring. Christy Collin, looking for her first World Cup medal of the 2014 campaign, aids her country's cause, scoring a direct hit, which leaves it up to Erica Jones to make sure the Americans keep pace in this 4th end. Erica comes through with 10 more points. It's 29 all. Back to target number 1, where Avdieva, the individual gold medalist at stage 3 Antalya, leaves her shot just inside the line for 9. Cherkashnieva doesn't want to leave any doubt about her shot. That's solid gold. She sets the table for Loginova, whose second shot of this end ends up just inside the line for another 10 points. Back to target 2, where Crystal's not about to crack. X marks the spot for Galvin.
Right on the X.
Christy Collins' World Cup experience pays off with a solid 9. And that leaves everything in the capable hands of Erica Jones, who needs 8 to win it, and 8's enough for the United States. Might not have been her best shot of the day, but it's all the Americans need to avenge the loss in Antalya 2 months before and clinch a 3rd gold medal for the U.S. women on the 2014 World Cup Tour. It's a 2-point win for the red, white, and blue as Govin, Collin, and Jones joined forces for the victory in Wroclaw, 221 to 219.
Yeah, we knew coming in that Russia was always, a really formidable opponent, and we just wanted to shoot our best, and today it was good enough, so we're really happy about it. Hi, I'm Crystal Govin, and I'm here to talk to you about cams. And basically cams, as you see here, are just a very efficient pulley system, is a good way to think about them. You have the strings and cables go through them, and essentially they allow a very small amount of force to be transferred into a large amount of force, driving your arrow much faster towards the target. Now this bow here has a solo or single cam. You'll see the other end just has an idle wheel. You also have bows that will have a 1.5 cam system or a binary cam system, which is 2 cams. The other unique feature about a cam system is it means each bow is very unique to the shooter shooting it. The cam has a stop system built into it, meaning that it can only be drawn to a certain length, and once it hits that stop, it cannot be drawn any further. So each bow is set up very specifically for each archer and their draw length. And that means, unlike a recurve, which you can pull slightly further or slightly less in your draw cycle, you're drawing to the exact same point every time with a compound bow, making it more accurate, more efficient, and gonna allow you to hit those 10s much more often. Another difference from a recurve bow with the cam system is, unlike a recurve which you take up and down, the string easily comes on and off the limbs. With a compound bow, the cams are under constant pressure, and that keeps the bow set up at all times. You never have it taken down, and that means there's force across this, as you can see, very strong force holding all the strings and cables in place at all times. So now that you've heard how awesome cams are, go out and buy a compound bow and join me with shooting.
Moving on to the mixed team gold medal match, India decided to go young, and it paid off. 20-year-old Abhishek Verma worked well all week with 15-year-old Purvasha Sudhir Sende, who had already proven herself on India's bronze medal women's team in Turkey. Meanwhile, the Americans went with 2 proven commodities. Crystal Govin won the gold medal in Marrakesh in the indoor circuit last fall, and Braden Gelantine won gold at the World Cup final in Tokyo 2 years ago. Now, they say the cameras never blink, and it seemed as though none of these 4 archers would either. Just 1 point separating the 2 nations after 2 ends of play. Abhishek Verma, fighting for his first World Cup medal, starts the 3rd set with a 9. Then the 15-year-old Sende sends a solid shot into the 10 ring. Govin wants another gold medal and stakes her claim with a 10 of her own. And so does her partner. Back-to-back 10s push the lead up to a deuce. Verma knows all about going for the gold after picking up a pair of shiny medals at this year's Asian Championships. He lands another rocket in the 10 ring. And Purvasha's just as impressive. Cool, calm, collected, she collects 10 more points for the persistent pair from India. The ball's back in the Americans' court, and Govin knows just what to do. Keep shooting 10s. Braden backs that up, and the U.S. runs the table with 10s across the board in the 4th end. They maintain a 2-point edge with just 1 set to go. It's a little more breathing room for the Americans, who lead 116-114, heading for the 4th and final end. India needs to match that effort to have a chance of catching their counterparts, so a 9 from Verma is not encouraging. What is encouraging is the poise and the production from Purvasha Sudhir Sende. Cool as can be, she keeps her team in contention.
All right, Crystal.
But Govin and Gelantine show no signs of letting up and allowing these challengers back in the match. Crystal and Braden both lighting up the scoreboard with a pair of near-perfect shots, building a 3-point lead with 2 to go. India's in danger of giving up 1 more point after Verma shoots another 9. And to make matters worse for India, Sende finally falters just a bit. The young dynamic duo starting to fade. Time for the U.S. to go for the kill. Crystal hammers away with an affordable 9, and Braden Gelantine puts the hammer down, putting Team India away and securing the mixed team gold medallion for the Americans. That's a pair of gold medals for Crystal Govin in her debut on the Outdoor World Cup Tour, and it provides a bit of consolation for Braden, who will miss the World Cup finals in Lausanne. Gelantine ends his outdoor season on a high note, collaborating with Crystal Govin on a 4-point win. Now here's a question for you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if a compound archer switched bows with someone who shoots recurve? Well, we did, so we asked Colombia's compound archer Maya Marcen to trade off with Germany's Elena Richter.
Hi, I'm Elena, and today I'm shooting compound with Maya's compound.
Here we go.
Okay.
Close it here, and you just release.
Okay. Well, I think the hardest for me was the drawing of the bow, because I know that they have a higher poundage than the recurvers.
That's right. Strongly. And be careful.
Go.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't want to hurt myself until I want to shoot tomorrow. So yeah, that was probably the worst. My muscles already know what they do.
Okay, best.
Surprising was actually for me that I hit it the X wide with the first shot. Woohoo! An X! An X! Oh my god!
Perfect.
And yeah, that was probably the point I should have stopped.
Like this.
Like this?
And it's gone.
Thank you.
Someone saw where it went.
I don't think that Elena is ready to change the bows, and I think that she got a bit scared shooting with my bow.
On paper, Turkey's 19-year-old Cansu Ecem Coşkun did not appear to be the favorite in the women's gold medal match. 87th in the world, unranked on the World Cup Tour, she finished 33rd in Poland last year and was yet to medal at this elite level. She had, however, defeated Albina Loginova in the semis to earn her spot in a showdown with Sarah Lopez. The 19-year-old Colombian had struck gold on the World Cup Tour, set world records, and qualified for last year's World Cup final. Come to think of it, most of the pressure was actually on Lopez. Let's pick up the action after 3 ends. The confident Colombian clinging to a 1-point edge. Coşkun leads off the 4th end on target 2 and says merhaba, catching the line for 10 points. That keeps the pressure on Lopez, who loses her lead and slips into a tie, responding with a 9. Coşkun's confidence rising. She puts a laser beam in the 10 ring and ups the ante. Sarah says, I'll see ya. Can't raise you, but I'll see you with a 10 of my own. Game on. We're tied at 105. But for how long? Turkey's best hope for the gold medal falls back into the 9 ring, but Lopez does not take advantage. We're still tied at 114, and there's concern written all over Sarah's face. She's locked in a battle that's proven to be tougher than most expected. It's anybody's match with 3 shots to go. Now it's Lopez leading off, and she's a bit lucky her arrow caught the line for 9. Luckier still that the challenger posts the same score with her first shot of the 5th end. Lopez adjusts, takes aim, and connects with a clutch shot that turns up the heat on Coşkun. Turns out she can handle the heat, 133 all. Lopez takes what she hopes will be her final shot of the match. Is that enough to secure the win? Only if her opponent misses the center, and she almost did. Cansu Ecem Coşkun almost left her arrow outside the line in the 9 ring, but she grazes the line, and it's enough to send this match to a shoot-off. Now it all comes down to one shot, winner take all. Closest to the center takes home the big prize. Sarah Lopez gets to go first with a shot that veers left of center. Now her fate is in the hands of another 19-year-old trying to make a name for herself. And that she does. Cansu Ecem Coşkun is the new Turkish delight. She comes up with the biggest shot of her career, a shot heard round Anatolia. That sets off an emotional, exuberant celebration as the stunned but ecstatic Turkish teenager basks in the glow of her first major victory on the World Cup tour. Cansu Ecem Coşkun's surprising win made all the more impressive because of her opponent's strength and ability.
Sakin olmam gerektiğini düşündüm.
I had to remain calm. During the match, I just kept telling myself to stop being nervous and think only about the next shot.
İşte yani dur dedim kendime. Öyle.
A look at the numbers show 14 points separating the top 8 female compound archers after the first 3 stops on this year's World Cup tour. After Poland, Sarah Lopez leads the way for the field of 7 qualifying for the World Cup finals. Cansu Ecem Coşkun barely missing the cut. Time for another question. Now that the smoke is cleared and the field is set for Lausanne in September, we asked some of the finalists whom they'd prefer not to face in the first round of the finals.
In Lausanne, in the first round, I would like to avoid my teammate Alejandra because last time we had to shoot together and it was kind of sad.
To avoid, maybe Erika. She's really strong shooter, and maybe her.
I think my first elimination I would shoot with Erika Jones, really, because for me it's a really hard girl. She shoots really good, really hard, and I want to try my power.
If I had to shoot against anybody, I'd want to shoot against the person who comes out on top, because I would like to see how well I can do against her.
During the finals, I think all the archers are very strong. In fact, I would enjoy shooting against any of them. But the one I would really like to shoot against in the gold medal match is my teammate Sarah.
I will prepare mentally, physically, so technically, and I will do my best. So it doesn't matter against who I will shoot.
Denmark's Martin Damsbo's ready to take on all comers. He's proven that throughout his career, especially last summer when he won no less than 6 World Cup medals. 2014, not quite as kind. So the Great Dane hoped to salvage his season with a bronze medal in Wroclaw. That meant winning a duel with Alexander Dambayev. No easy feat. The 25-year-old Russian ranked 7th in the world and, like Damsbo, was hungry for his first individual medal on this year's World Cup tour. These two sharpshooters going head-to-head for the first time in their respective careers. No surprise, then, that these two were neck and neck as they neared the finish line. It's 118 all going into the 5th end. Plenty of support for Dambayev from the rest of the Federation as play begins with Damsbo stepping up to the line and stabbing the center of his target. That puts the onus on Dambayev to keep pace. Consider it done. Still tied 128 all, but not for long. Danish hearts sink when Damsbo sends this one wide right. That cracks the door open for Alexander, and he barges through with the go-ahead shot. Turns out he would never relinquish that lead. Martin's lost the magic and now needs a miracle. Of course, in archery, one man's miracle is another man's disaster, and Dombayev is not about to let that happen. After coming this far, the young Russian not about to let Damsbo off the hook. 9 wins it, but he goes one better. After claiming the bronze in Poland last year, defeating Dominique Genet, Dombayev does it again at the expense of the reigning World Cup champion. Here in Wroclaw, he's becoming known as Alexander the Great. 3 straight 10s in the deciding set spell the fate of both archers. Dombayev breaking through at the final stage of the World Cup campaign to win his first individual medal of the outdoor season. Compound's marquee matchup in Poland would pit the 2 top-ranked men against each other. Rio Wild, still going strong as ever in his 20th year on the U.S. national team. He proved that by posting perfect scores in 2 elimination rounds and shooting a near-perfect score of 149 in yet another match. Rio earning a berth in this gold medal affair with the top-ranked man in the world, Pierre-Julien Deloche. The French naval officer becoming the commander of men's compound archery and qualifying for this match with quarter and semifinal victories over Peter Elzinga and Martin Damsbo. Deloche with the upper hand after 3 ends, missing the center with only one of his first 9 arrows. For most, a 4-point deficit would be an insurmountable lead. But Rio Wild isn't like most others. The pride of Pocatello, Idaho refuses to toss in the towel, finding that sweet spot again. Pierre's putting on a display of pinpoint precision, so he's not giving any ground. The lead stays at 4. Rio had only lost a point here and there through the first 3 ends, but he knows he can't afford to miss another shot. Deloche does have that luxury, and still leads by 3 when he leaves his next shot wide left. The Wild man not backing down. He strings together 3 straight 10s to keep hope alive. But Pierre is not giving up the ship either. That dagger's dead center. Up by 3 points with 3 to go is like having a 3-mile nautical lead. Rio's got a long way to go to catch Pierre and a short time to get there. But there's no quit in the American, who's finally in a good groove. If the Frenchman falters and Deloche does, well, Wild is back in business, the lead shrinking to just 2. Rio keeps the run going by making it 5 in a row. 5 straight dimes to turn up the pressure. But Pierre's experienced and has handled plenty of pressure on his rise to the top spot in the world rankings. He bounces back with a 10 of his own. He needed that shot because Rio Wild was just relentless. His last 6 shots of the match all in the center ring, all in roughly the same spot. But it's too little, too late. Deloche delivers the knockout blow. He nicks the line between 10 and 9, receives the higher value, and walks away triumphantly after staving off the late charge from Rio Wild. Pierre had already secured a spot in September's World Cup final, but now he'll head to Lausanne with a world of momentum after winning stage 4 and getting the best of Rio Wild for a 2-point victory.
Je crois que c'est une des rares finales que j'ai
I think this is one of the few finals I shot with so much intensity. For 3 hours during warm-ups, Rio shot only 10s, and he grouped them in rows like the arrows in his quiver. I was not far from doing the same thing. He came here with great form. Meanwhile, I had much less confidence when I arrived at this World Cup event. But last year I won the European indoor title, and I won the World Cup here in Poland. So why not double up? After the pressure I went through in this match, I don't have the words yet to describe how I feel.
J'ai pas les mots, quoi.
He may not have the words, but Pierre does have plenty of points. After stage 4, Deloche moves up to third, and Rio Wild goes into Lausanne as the top qualifier. Now it's on to Switzerland in September. Till next time, do widzenia from Wrocław, Poland.